Now let's put it straight now and very simple, just like in the words of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. A zoo country as commanded by the gatekeeper. A zoo country as commanded by the gatekeeper. Are you telling me that you are not aware that your citizen, Abdul Jabbar, was sentenced to life, in short, by even hanging, by a Sharia court in Kano? In Kano. How many years ago? So the question you now begin to ask yourself is, what gives Sharia court the power to sentence somebody to life? Not even to talk of appeal. Are you saying you are not aware? You are aware. But as usual, confronting this will affect your political career, as your possibility of winning Kano will be at stake. That is why you kept quiet, and you are keeping quiet about it. You rather share rice to any problem than to confront the reality that address and make people know where they are heading to. That is the reality. And at the end of the day, I want the international community to be aware that in Nigeria, you have a sitting president that have a citizen convicted by a Sharia court that lacks the jurisdiction to sentence somebody to life. That guy is facing death sentence, right? And that even apart, this is years back. And even when we even descend to talking in regards even appeal, why has the appeal for years now not yielded anything? But the zookeeper will prefer to sit down and share rice and be thinking of how he comes back for the next tenure. Nothing occupies his mind.
Why is Sharia institutionalized in a country like Nigeria? Of course, it's only 12 states that institutionalize Sharia. As we can see, they're trying their best to also introduce this to other part of the country. Of course, the Igbos are resisting heavily. In case you don't know what is the meaning of institutionalization, institutionalization of the Sharia, it just means that Islamic way is the recognized way of living in a society. Is a recognized way of living. So that means that Islamic policies, Islamic rules are regulating our society, and that also shape our politics. For instance, if you are not a Muslim, you cannot be a governor in a state where Sharia is institutionalized. You cannot be a governor. You cannot hold any political power that is significant. Also, you are not allowed to practice any religion that is not Islam. You are not allowed to do that because Islamic way of living is the recognized way of living. Like women, as I am right now, I'm a Christian, but I have hijabs. When I'm going outside, I wear my hijab. So just in case you see me outside wearing hijab, I'm not a Muslim. It's just that Sharia has been institutionalized. So that is Islam in our politics. It also takes political power for you to be able to institutionalize a system. It takes significant amount of political power to do that. You can't just wake up one day and say, this is the acceptable way of living in a society.
It will no longer be a confusing news to you in this time and season, especially if you are a Nigerian, that religious extremism is one of the virus which has eaten so deep, globally, locally, destroying the foundation upon which this world was built for peaceful coexistence. A typical example is what happened just a few days ago in Kwara State, where over 160 Nigerians were massacred in their numbers, both Muslims and Christians, simply because most of these persons refused to join the revolution of Islamic radicalism. In view of all of this, America and Americans are currently charting a new course to totally ban Sharia law in the entire United States of America. Whether you like it or not, religious extremism, has already done more harm to human race than good. And this is the singular reason you would not blame anybody who is speaking against extremism. Because the problem is that from the beginning, it will come with a genuine interest. And later on, it will metamorphose into fulfilling what seems to be an agenda. A lot of people have spoken out about the revolution of these extremists, their strategies, how they recruit their members, what has always been their ulterior motives at the end of the day. So when you keep silent, when you keep quiet, saying that it does not concern you, someday it will certainly concern you. And this is why America, as democratically developed as it is, that you begin to see politicians today begin to raise their voices against, religious extremism to the extent of banning Sharia law. Simply because it will interest you to know that even many of the Islamic religious believers, some of them don't find it, justified enough to condemn some of the actions of their own brothers and sisters on this extremism issue. Look at Nigeria today. Look at what happened in Kwara State. And this is exactly what is beginning to prompt the rest of the United States of America, especially with the president, Mr. Donald J. Trump, who is very passionate about Christianity. Today, 10 Commandments has just been unveiled in front of Tarrant County, all the way in Fort Worth, in the same Texas. They need to remind the American Americans that this is God's own country. This is God's own state. We must embrace Christianity. So the moment you begin to fight against Christianity, push against Christianity, saying that there is no God, doing this and all of that, you are bringing Christianity into extinction. Why giving this extremists, this Islamic jihadist extremists, the opportunity to expand their coast? And it will take just one day, consciously or unconsciously, either by your own volition or by force, by coercion, by compulsion. This is where I also want to send a message to Matthias Ezak, who is consistently, launching campaign crusade against Christianity, either intentionally or unintentionally. I am not against Matthias Ezak, for example, but you must understand that there are consequences for every action. If you succeed in chasing away Christianity, a day will come when you will become an Alakoba man. Yes, whether you like it or not. If it does not happen in your time, it will happen in the time of in the generation of your children, your unborn children to come. That is why I have always preached, live and let live. But the world at large must carefully rally round to put an end to this extremism, especially that is predominantly found in Islam. The Islamic, religious, extremists and radicals. Imagine the impetus going to a state-funded, taxpayers' money's high school and then setting up a booth and dispensing Quran, even without appropriate authorization to do that. You know what I mean? So these are some of the things that collectively pressurizes a lot of individuals, a lot of persons to begin to speak against all of this menace, to the extent of, trying to ban Sharia laws and all of that. It is simply because at the end of the day, extremism will come out of it. I, for one, cannot condemn people individually. In this context, I still have friends who are Muslims that are very cool-headed, that are very rational in their thinking, who will always say no to extremism and all of that. But the problem remains that the radical elements among them will continue to find their way. And these persons are being sponsored massively by billionaires, by organizations, So it is terrifying. I must be very honest with you. Look at all the crises going on in globally. Terrorism everywhere. What happened in Nigeria in the last few days will be an eye-opener to every one of us. That these guys are not relenting. After raining terror in the most northern part of Nigeria, now they are drifting to the west. Kwara State today is flowing with tears and pains and blood. people refuse to adopt your extremism type of religion, which according to this caucus member from the United States of America, is a political organization that is being run by extremists. They refuse to adopt extremism, and you simply go ahead to unalive all of them. Tomorrow, so many persons out of fear, because they do all of these things to induce people, to use compulsion or coercion, to persuade people into joining their religion. Tomorrow, other people out of fear will join them, and the numbers will keep multiplying, and they will begin to gain dominance. It is terrifying. That is how, bad it is. Some persons will choose to become extremists because they value their life. They want to live. They want to be alive. And at the end of the day, divide and rule, invade and conquer will continue to expand. Well, we must all collectively say no to religious extremism.
This is the man Iran wanted to use to cause Islamic revolution in Nigeria. Sometimes I don't really know why so many people hate Israel as a nation. That was in the year 2025. Israeli ambassador first made this statement, not this recent one he made, that Iran is sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Before he made the statement, I've already made videos citing how Iran was importing weapons to Nigeria, exposing that. I've already made video citing how one Sheikh Kabara went to Iran, how Iran wanted to use him to cause a revolution in Nigeria to overthrow Nigeria. So after making this video, people did not believe the video. People don't, if something is sounding so surprising to you, you will not believe it. But you know what? I have been vindicated about that video I made. A lot of people use because of that video to say Okocha is sentimental. Now, the person in question, this Islamic cleric, Sheikh Kabara, he is a good man. He don't want to share the blood of innocent Nigerians. They wanted to make him a supreme leader in Nigeria. Like that, Khamenei in Iran. Like a supreme leader in Iran. So they wanted to make him a supreme leader in Nigeria. After showing him everything, he spoke with the Iranian ambassador to Nigeria. He met Abdul Sharif. These are the informations that was on my disposal then. Okay. And sometimes if I come out to leak some secrets, people are surprised. They don't know. But now, this man himself, this Islamic cleric, now wrote a letter. He's now writing a letter proving everything I have been saying right from time that it is true. This man said that because as I speak to you now, this Islamic cleric you are seeing, his full name is Abdul Jabbar, Sheikh Nasser Kabara. He is now facing a death sentence by hanging. Stay with me. This is after they flew him to Iran. He said they deceived him. That is not what he wanted for Nigerians and for some people. And he said because a lot of innocent lives will be lost. He said a lot of people will die. So for that reason, he don't just want to engage in all those things. He don't want to become supreme leader. And when he came back from Iran in the year 2021, in the year 2022, the Hizbah police, the morality police, the Islamic police, the Sharia police, they call Hizbah, they now arrested him. So when they arrested him, they charged him to court in Sharia court, upper court in Kano. So the court now sentenced him to death for refusing to lead an Islamic revolution that is going to change Nigeria permanently. And he met Ganduje. He talked about how he met Ganduje, how he met Abdul Sharif, how he met the Iranian ambassador, how he met so many people. As I speak to you, this man is languishing in Kuje prison. He filed appeal against Sharia courts. He filed appeal to Nigerian court. Guess what? The power in Nigeria is suppressing the appeal. They did not hear the appeal, and they're about to hang this man. They are about to hang someone who refused to lead the revolution in Nigeria, like what happened in Iran 45 years ago, that led to this crisis to Iran today. Someone who refused to do this thing after they took him to Iran, after they equipped him, he refused to do it, is facing death sentence by hanging in Abuja as I speak to you today. This is unacceptable. People should open their eyes to understand what is going on in Nigeria. If you have been following me, I predicted something for you that in 2026, that there is an interest to annex Nigeria into terror stronghold. After making the video, that was January last year, right? This Babadatia made elder brother. He came to Arise News again. The man repeated the same thing, that there is an interest, that the whole world knows about this, that the DSS is aware, military, they are aware, that there is a plan to turn Nigeria into a terror stronghold. And why is this thing not trending? Because it's not a celebrity news. It's not a political news about Tinubu, P2B. Like, this is not the news Nigerians want to hear. This is not it. This is not the news Nigerians want to hear. Nigerians want to hear that maybe P2B want to Kano, they rejected him, or they want to give, that is the news you want to hear. You are gone. Like, the country is gone. Oh God. Anyway, you see, this man is now begging for help because he's being held in Medium Security Custodial Center in Ikuje, Abuja. He has submitted extensive letter to Nigeria Ministry of Justice. He has submitted this letter to Nigeria Ministry of Justice. He wants help. And on March 26 again, okay, on March 26, that was yesterday, he also wrote petition again to the president, to the court of appeal president of Nigeria, saying that the whole court is now ignoring his appeal. Sorry, courts are ignoring his appeal. When he write appeal, they will ignore it. Why? That is the conspiracy that people are not understanding. That a lot of people are supporting the war going on in Nigeria. You just listen to the military spokesman when he was talking about these terrorists are our prodigals and we don't have to kill them. We have to rehabilitate them. We have to rehabilitate them. Nigerians, wake up before it is too late. Wake up before it is too late. Just wake up. Just wake up. Wake up. So, I want you to study the life of this man. His name is Abdul Jabbar Sheikh Nasser Kabara. The man who refused to be supreme leader in Nigeria, that's supposed to lead Islamic revolution that will take over the whole country. And I know some people would say, how can he do that when we have military? Who told you that the whole Nigeria will not support him? When I mean the whole Nigeria, I mean the people who are the left. Yes, the left people in Nigeria, the left wing of the politics, they will support him. Because look at now, they are sabotaging his appeal at this moment. They are sabotaging his appeal at this moment. They don't want to listen to him. He talks about how they gave him thousands and millions of dollars. How they offer him millions of dollars, but he refused it. They sent so many emissaries to him. Like, what do Iran really want? And this is totally different from, what other people have been doing in Nigeria. Like ISWAP, who wanted Islamic State, all those people. It was a little bit different from them, because these people now are shy. Other people are Sunni. So, what is all about this? Like, this grip of Islamic radicalism in Nigeria? People should pay attention, because all these politicians, they don't know the problem of Nigeria, or they just want to play their politics and have their own money, do whatever they want to do and live their life. If they actually wanted to help people in Nigeria, you could have seen flyers. You see why if I say I love the West, people don't understand. I am not ignorant of the stories of slave trade and so on and so forth. Like, democracy is not supposed to be for Africa. It's supposed to be only for the West. Because if, for example, Nigeria is like a country in Germany, you will see that the only thing that presidential candidates will be using to campaign is to how to stop Islamization of Nigeria. Because that is only the problem we have in Nigeria. We don't have a problem of economy. Don't believe anyone saying we have a problem of economy. What is affecting our economy is Islamization. We don't have problem of security. Insecurity you are seeing is Islamization. We don't have problems of corruption. The corruption you are seeing is part of all this shit. We have one problem in Nigeria. That is Islamization. If everybody can understand this, believe me, few days to come, you will see that once you discover the real solution, then these people will go offensive. Then the war will start. You people don't understand this. Do you understand when Trump wanted to activate something in Nigeria before he was occupied with the Iran issue? You see that time when Trump made that statement, these people went offensive. You know why? They want to just put in resistance, because they know that this man is hitting the nail at the head. If you see a presidential candidate who will come out today and says Islamization is the problem of Nigeria, many people are supporting it. If I enter as a president, I will make sure I return Nigeria to regional government. I will bring an executive bill to have a referendum in Nigerian constitution and divide this country. A lot of people will buy the idea and follow him. But before election, they will kill him. If they didn't kill him, they will make sure that he will never win. But if the person win and he is able to do this, you will say that the problem you are seeing in Nigeria will just end. This is because we don't have any other problem. The only problem we have in Nigeria is just Islamization. Take it to the bank. Stop deceiving yourself. This is the only problem we have. Muslims know about this. This is an Islamic cleric. This is an Islamic cleric telling you what is going on. Because he refused to do that, they now sentence him to death. And you said Nigeria is a secondary state, right? And a lot of you are still thinking that political regime change. Either someone enter that office, the person will change everything. People should stop playing. You don't understand how principles of war that these people are using is. If you understand principles of infiltration, you will not say that someone will become president and this whole issue will be solved. That is because you don't understand the principles of infiltration. These people have infiltrated the polity. Like, they have infiltrated everywhere. Upon how many soldiers that these Boko Haram killed? A Nigerian army spokesman is telling you that they don't need death. Those who are killing soldiers don't need to die. What a pity. I cry. Like, sometimes I cry for Nigeria. And I cry more because we, the people in Nigeria, we are dumb. I'm sorry to use this word. No, like, nobody is making move to solve this problem. Nobody. I mean nobody. Zero. Nobody is making move to solve this problem. Everybody is working with fear. Tinubu as a president is working with fear. Tinubu is afraid. People don't understand how sophisticated this network of Islamization is. Tinubu is afraid. Good luck. Go and sit with Good luck. Let Good luck tell you what he sees as a president. When people were in the mosque saying that a president is an infidel, that they shouldn't vote for him. This one, Good luck was stoned. His convoy was attacked. Like, people don't understand. See, the solution is this. Number one, we all have to realize one thing. What is that? Know the problem. Simple. Know the problem. Once you know the problem to this issue, the solution is 50% applied. Then, what next? That is the question. What next? Everybody who believe, because this is not all about fighting insecurity. Because the more you fight these people, you are fighting the government too. You are fighting the government once you are fighting these people, because they are in the government. So, don't let anybody to deceive you. For people who wish to find out more about this man, do. If you have any means to help him, do. If you have any means to, share this and let people know what is going on, do. Someone who refused that he will not cause an Islamic revolution.
You see all these things that we've been neglecting, thinking that we're not doing ourselves. See, wallahi, we are doing ourselves all these things. Because if we had come out to go against this thing, then this thing would not have even gained the momentum that it has gained today. You know that this whole thing that is been happening is not caused by anything. It is caused by us, because we are not helping ourselves. You know that this man issue has been on ground for like how many years now? It has even been there before this current administration even came in, if I am not mistaken. You know that the offer they were trying to give this man, if this man had collected the offer, you and me would have been in trouble today. But he refused to collect the offer, and he refused to collect the appointment and every other thing they were advising him to do. I mean, the Sharia court, what they were trying to give him then was something like this thing, something that was given to this Iran minister that was by then. You know that is the same thing they wanted this person to be doing, and he refused. Why did he refuse? He refused just because he knows that we are in a country whereby Christian and Muslim are dominant. So you cannot just been trying to give someone when offer that should be affecting one feet, or that should be affecting some part of the nation. That is the reason why this man didn't accept something like that. And when this thing now is now on him now, instead of everybody to start talking or start speaking up, everyone remains silent just because it has never, or it has not affected you. You know that all these things we're facing and all these bad people we are even getting today, I don't think it is their fault, because if something like this is happening to good people and you're not talking, some persons who are supposed to be good, they will just change your mind. That is why we are talking about this whole Sharia and many other things that us that are so good, we should come out to talk about it and make sure it is clear, because even the US, they are trying to remove this thing from their own side, because they have heard how this has affected Africa as a whole. So they are there trying to take this thing out of their own side, but we that are supposed to be talking today are even here enjoying, because this has not come to you. One thing I like about us is that it is only when it has reached someone who is so close to you will come out to hear something like this. The only reason why I like the first guy who was there talking is just because the guy is so clear and he is so straight. Because if this has to be the way every Nigerian sees, no one would have even come out. But this guy came out, even despite the fact that all this thing has not been happening to him, he's been coming out to speak. Those of us, especially in the south, we are not talking about all this thing. And if this thing started, I think it is us that is going to affect the most. So we should not just keep quiet when something like this is about to happen. Thank you all. And if you have anything to let us know in all these things, just drop it below. And also, if it is the first thing coming or hearing from us, just kindly like, share, subscribe. Thank you.